Instagram. Y'all know we always do Instagram and YouTube. So come on in while I get logged in, and let's talk about something serious today. Hold on just a second, y'all. It is a little cool out here, so I have my jacket on. Come on, Instagram. Where are you? And I'm gonna try to set it up so that I'm not looking too, oh my gosh, I'm setting it up so that I'm not looking too far away. But you know, if you see me looking one way, it's because I'm looking over at Instagram. We stream on Instagram and YouTube. So y'all come on in. It is a fly that continues to fly my face. Okay. We are right at 6 o'clock. So how are y'all? Are y'all excited for the weekend? Type in the comments if you have any plans for the weekend. I just got off of the phone with my mom, and she was telling me how, she put mulch down and all of this stuff. And so I was telling her I continue to look out the window and just say all of the things that I should be out here doing, but I have not started yet. So we'll see what happens this weekend. And I hope that you all, if you were in the midst of the storm, we had a bunch of tornado warnings yesterday. I hope that you are safe and okay. We had like lots of rain, lots of much needed rain. But it is a little windy out here. And that's why I always try to tell people that, right before Easter, that is when, they call it like the Easter snap or something like that. Hello to all my YouTube and my Instagram friends. You all come on in because, I'm always reading stuff, always just trying to research. And I came across something that came on my phone the other day that I think we should talk about. If you're on my email list, you will know that I said I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. I just want you to think, because I'm not where I want to be either as well when it comes to gardening, but I just work towards it. So it's right at 6:01. Let's go ahead and get started. So hello, happy Friday, happy weekend. My name is Ayana of Southern Entertaining, and we are just trying to get everybody to grow. Let's stop imagining and dreaming about a garden we wish we had, and let's just grow one. Gardening is a journey, and we are on this journey together. So let's go ahead and get a couple of things out the way before we start our discussion. If you know someone, or if you've heard someone that say, I think I want to, or I'm thinking about growing, make sure not only you like, but you share this information with them. So like and share the information, and just tell them about us and what we're trying to do. And then if you want to be notified when we go live, make sure you text Let's Grow, LETSGROW, to 474747. Text Let's Grow to 474747. So every time that we go live, we will send you a text that we're going live. So far, since the weather has, since daylight savings time is here and it's lighter, longer, so far, based on what you all have told me and the feedback, we are going to start going live every Monday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and then Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to try to go live at least 2 days a week. And if it's something that you want us to talk about, discuss, if you have any questions, then make sure that you DM me or contact me and let them know, and we'll definitely talk about it. Now, if you're new to gardening, we have a free ebook for my YouTube land. I will put it in the description once this video gets through rendering. And for my Instagram fans, click the link in the bio, get the 5 tips to a flourishing garden. This is going to be your basics to before you even start planning, gardening, plotting. Is going to give you is kind of what I call the basic foundation or the basic fundamentals when it comes to gardening. There's just a few things that I want you to know to just kind of save yourself some time. We just want to fast track and we want to grow. And so this ebook is totally free. So make sure that you get the free ebook and just go through that. And I always go back and remind myself of just the things that we need to know. And one more thing, one more thing, and then we're going to get started. We are getting low on seeds, and once these seeds are gone, that's it for the season. I keep getting alerts from the website that we're saying low in stock. So Instagram, click on the link in the bio. I think is the first link. We still have some seeds available. And then a big surprise, I just tested and I'm pleased with the germination rate of our butterfly pea flowers. So I will be uploading those to our website, southernentertaining.com. I'll be uploading those this weekend because that was one of the most popular seeds that I have got so many DMs about. Somebody sent me a message today and say, hey, if you don't have any butterfly pea flowers available, do you know someone that has them? So I'm pleased with the germination rate. I'll make sure that I show you all. And so if you're interested in that, give me like at least till tomorrow evening and I'll have the butterfly pea flowers seeds up on the website. And I'll make sure I put it on Instagram and the link also on YouTube. So let's go ahead. I think I got everything I needed out the way. Let's go ahead and get started. So I sent out an email today. And again, I'm always reading articles. And so I want to discuss something. And a lot of you may have heard of this. Put it in the comments if you have. But every year they come out with a list called the Dirty Dozen. And the Clean 15 is this year. Dirty Dozen and Clean 15. Yes, I will. YouTube 3322. Oh my gosh. Can you... I think I don't have your address, but make sure you send me an address at anna@southernentertaining.com. Send me your address. Absolutely. Send me your address. But have you ever heard of the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15? So something popped up on my phone the other day. And the 2021 list of the Dirty Dozen is out. So let me explain what the Dirty Dozen is. So each year they put out a list of all of the fruits and vegetables that they have tested. And when they tested them, there were so many pesticides. There were so many like different chemicals on them. The foods that we find in the store. And when I read about the Clean 15, it was kind of your analysis of it because the Clean 15, to me, with what I interpreted, is not really clean. It's just less pesticides, less chemicals on there. Like they may have found 1 or 2 versus 10 or more. So that is why I put out the post today. Like, if you've been thinking about it, if you've been on the fence about growing, here is just yet another reason why you need to just start growing. And when I first came on, I will be the first to tell you that I am not like nearly what I imagine what I want to grow, but each year I try to expand. Each year I try to plant something new. But when I read the list of the Dirty Dozens and what they were putting on there, and the thing is some of the pesticides that they're using, like they're banned in the other countries. And I continue to read some of them like are what they describe as neurotoxic. So they, affect the brain and different things like that. So I think that we're in a time where we love to see beautiful fruits and vegetables. And I love to see them too. I really do. I don't want y'all to think I don't. Like, I love to see beautiful produce when I go, whether it's to the farmer's market or to the the produce section. But I think now that we're so used to looking at beautiful produce, and they want to present it a certain way, but they're presenting it with a bunch of chemicals and pesticides. And those chemicals and pesticides are doing some damage over time. So let me just go. I'm not going to read all 12. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll read all 12. But the number one on the list were strawberries. I think they had over 10 different pesticides um, when they tested them. So strawberries was the first on the list. And so as I continue to read, I've done videos on YouTube about strawberries, but then I've also planted strawberries in like pots and containers. And so that's why I wanted to encourage you, like, just start. Y'all, let's just start with one thing. Now, I'm not saying everything on this list I can grow, because I can't. Like, I'll give you an example. Apples were on the list, okay? And apples for us, we have to have a certain variety because we don't get enough cold here in order for us to be able to, have apples. I do understand that now, many companies are making different hybrids and things like that that will be able to not have enough, that will be able to, like, if you don't have that chill time, then that'll be okay. But of the things, like everything I can't grow, but what I'm trying to tell y'all is let's just start growing like one or two things. Let's just pick something that we like, that our family like, and let's just commit to say we're going to grow this, because that will lessen the pesticides that are being put on. Y'all know my favorite saying is, when you grow. So if I'm growing strawberries here, I know exactly what I've put on them. I know exactly what was done to them because I'm the one that's taking care of it. And believe it or not, the taste is just so much different when you pick it at its peak ripeness. And then it's literally, you're reducing the carbon footprint. Like, whether it's on your patio, a raised bed, or pot, you are reducing the carbon footprint. So let's talk about Dirty Dozen number 2. The next is spinach. Y'all know we all need spinach, okay? Spinach is so high in vitamins and nutrients, but it's on the Dirty Dozen list. And spinach was one of those things that I read about, and I did a live on some months ago, that once it's picked, by the time it gets to the grocery store, a lot of time it has lost over half, if not more, of the nutritional content. Now, a lot of people I have talked to, they say spinach is one of those tricky ones, and it is. I'm not going to sit up here and lie, but you can do it. Like, spinach is one of those ones, if you start from seeds, like the temperature has to be right. Like, it has to be a little bit cool, but you can do it. And if you document if you document everything and build on that, then you will be a pro at starting spinach. At first, spinach was really hard. I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong, but it likes a little bit cooler temperatures than most seeds when you start. And so that was I like to saute spinach. And when I saw that spinach was number 2 on the list, that just encouraged me to at least try to do one more round of spinach, because the weather is going up and down here. But just reading that, I said, okay, let's go ahead and try to start one more round of spinach seeds. Yes, definitely going to try my strawberry seeds. Feathered Sun says, I am going to do a video. I actually started strawberries from seeds. This year, it was a variety that I saw online. And let me tell you, I finally got them to, it looks like they are starting to grow now. It took a while. And I'm like, I know I can do it. But I'm just so proud that I actually started strawberries from seed, because I always just go to the garden center, and get the starts and then take the runners and reproduce. But I'm so excited for you that you're doing strawberry from seeds. I winter sow and got about 6 to germinate. Yes, spinach. But the fact, eternity, that you got them to grow, like, that is amazing within itself. So I definitely commend you on that, because Like just even getting 6 is still like less than you have to go to the grocery store and buy, especially since it's number 2 on the Dirty Dozen list. So next, let's talk about number 3. And this one I'm gonna discuss a little bit longer. Number 3 was kale, mustard, and collards. And I don't know if you all can remember, but now, like I'm growing turnips, kale, and collards now. And sometimes they may have little holes in there. And I'm okay with that, y'all. I'm okay with that because a little bug bite, that's okay. But I feel like they're putting a lot of pesticides on them because we imagine in our head those pretty green leaves. We want those beautiful green leaves that have not been touched. But what we're not realizing is they are putting pesticides on that in order for them to be pretty. So when I go pick my turnips, I'll wash them real good, wash off the bugs, a hole or two. I'm not even concerned with, because I know that I have grown them organically, and I know that I know what I put on them. So I am totally okay. But I was surprised to see kale, mustard, and collards. I think that was number 3 on the list with being in the Dirty Dozen. And it's just because we have just gotten so used to seeing just beautiful produce. So, I mean, y'all comment. Are you okay? Are you okay with a hole or two in your greens versus it being just like loaded with 10 or more pesticides? And for all of you that are joining us, what we're talking about today is another reason to start growing. I looked at the Dirty Dozen list, and what the Dirty Dozen list is the 12 fruits and vegetables that they have tested that has the most pesticides on them. And most of them, when they tested them, they had 10 or more. They have a clean 15 list. To me, I don't interpret it as being clean. It's just that they had less pesticides. So they just might have had one or two, like 1 or 2 pesticides versus 10 or more. I saw a small plant for strawberries, but have to see if they're being treated in any way. Yeah. And it's hard. Like, don't get me wrong. I've bought strawberry plants from garden centers too, and we've made different plants. And once I get them home, I we garden organically. And it's not to say that, don't buy them at the garden center. It's just to say, y'all, let's grow, and let's try to grow organically, or let's just try to grow as natural as possible without using a lot of chemicals over time. And another thing too is when we use a lot of chemicals, that affects our pollinators. And I'll tell y'all a really quick slow don't get nauseous. Don't get nauseous. And hello from Brazil, thank you for joining us. I told this story a few years ago. Like, I had got so frustrated, y'all. I had got so frustrated, and I talked to somebody in the garden center, and this was years ago, and they told me to put 7 Dust on there. And as soon as I put 7 Dust on my plant, I almost like literally cried. I did, because I'm like, what have you done? What have you done? And I did notice that whole gardening season, I didn't see as many pollinators, and I didn't see, that really just made me say, just try to do it. And if it means you have to pull a plant, then that's okay. That's why we're keeping a gardening journey, a garden journal. That's the reason we keep a garden journal, so we'll know. And that's why I tell people, don't get frustrated. Just start off with 1, just start off with 2, but don't get frustrated when things don't go your way, because it's all part of the process. We all have to start somewhere. But the reason I just want us to start, especially looking at this list, let's just start, because it can lessen the pesticides that we are putting into our bodies. And that's what it's all about. Absolutely. Okay, so Growing with Donnie on YouTube said absolutely. They'll take a few they'll take a few bugs in their greens. And I'm okay. That's why I say I'm okay with that. I am okay with a few bugs versus a whole bunch of pesticides. No journals over here. Plans are for right. I have to journal because I forget. I forget a lot of things, and I'm just like, okay, we got to do it. So let's talk about the next thing on the Dirty Dozen list. I don't eat a whole bunch of these, but y'all comment below and let me know if you eat Nectarines. So nectarines were on the Dirty Dozen list as having a whole bunch of pesticides. And the next one was apples. And I do like to eat apples. I put apples in my smoothies. And just seeing that, I was just like, wow. Thanks for being on after work so I can catch you live. Welcome, Elizabeth. So for those who are just joining us on YouTube and Instagram, so that we can have more people coming in live, because I know a lot of people say they prefer live better, but sometimes they catch the replay. So since it's staying lighter longer, on Mondays we're going live at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Fridays we are doing 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Tanya, thank you so much for joining us. I know, I can imagine that you are overwhelmed with tax season. I can imagine. And y'all, let me tell you, being an accountant, I should be ashamed of myself. I still have not gotten my taxes together, but I'm going to do it this weekend, Tanya. I'm going to do it. But I'm always the last and the slowest one. I was going to ask you about the seven dust. Yep. Feathered Sunset. I'm telling you, it was like when I use that seven dust, because somebody said, oh, just put seven dust on there. My heart, I'm serious when I tell y'all, tears came into my eyes. Like, and to be honest, like, it still didn't do what I thought it would do. And I know a lot of people will say, put a little bit of seven dust on there, but I just try to, and we'll talk more about this. Oh, thank you so much, Tanya. I heard, I'm sorry, y'all, because I got to get my taxes together. I heard that they were going to extend the tax season. So for all of y'all like me who haven't got your taxes together, Tanya, our tax professional here on YouTube, has said they extended it to May 7th. Now, I'm not going to procrastinate just because they extended it, but that is good to hear, because I was seriously like getting anxiety, like just trying to get everything together. And then that's another story. I got to do better. I got to do better. Feathered Sunset. Yes, I use Diatomaceous Earth. I use Bacillus thuringiensis, which is also known as BT. I'll use neem oil, and then I'll use an insecticidal soap. So anything outside of that, they also have. Oh my gosh, it's like I'll have to look it up. It's also organic, but I'll look it up. It's like one more that I use, but it's for organic gardening as well. And exactly, Feathered Sunsets. When you use chemicals, pesticides, anything like that, not only do you kill the bad insects, but you kill your pollinators and your beneficial insects as well. So it doesn't discriminate. It just really just kills off everything, good and bad. It gets rid of it. So that's another thing that's another reason why I just try to plant things that bring in the pollinators, and we will talk more about that. Yankee Sister, yeah, she on YouTube, she said she did the same thing. And so what I can say about that is, let's plant pollinator friendly plants to bring in the pollinators and really build our soil. That's what I tell people. When you build your soil over time, you can see a difference in growing up. And so yeah, I felt really bad with that seven dust. I really did. So the next on the list, okay, so we talk about apples. Next, grapes. Grapes are on the list as well as part of the Dirty Dozen. Peaches and cherries. I love peaches. I love grapes. And then pears are on the list. And the next one is sweet peppers and hot peppers. That is another one on the Dirty Dozen list. And so if you love sweet peppers and hot peppers, there's so many varieties that you can plant. If you don't have a lot of space, you can plant the container variety, a patio variety, and you can start there. Because y'all, I think I have ready to be planted at least about 20 type of peppers. I have, we're trying a new pepper this year, paprika, to make paprika the spice. I want to I use a lot of smoked paprika for my cooking. So I found those particular peppers that are used for making paprika, and I said, you know what? I'm going to grow some, and I'm going to smoke my own peppers and make them, because they're expensive at the store. A lot of times that's why I even start growing stuff. Like when stuff starts to get too high, and I don't know about y'all, I want y'all to comment right now because it may be in my head. I want y'all to leave a comment and tell me, have you noticed the prices at the grocery store has went up at least 25%? Now, just comment and let me know. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's just my grocery store, but I am noticing a 25% increase. And that's another reason why I want to grow even more things um, in the garden. Although got rid of hornet nests. Yeah, the bee. Okay, so I'm glad that the bees came back. We need the bees. We need to save the bees. This is one that I'm going to have to really, 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 really convince my husband on because I'm not scared of bees. Now, we have a couple carpenter bees that get out of control, but if I could really convince him to let me just get like a beehive, I would. He seriously thinks I am he thinks I'm crazy because I want chickens. I want a I want a beehive. Like I want to be on my own little homestead just doing my thing. That is my ultimate goal, okay? Yeah, you love smoked paprika too. So this year we're trying out the peppers that are make paprika, and I will definitely keep y'all focused. I'll definitely keep y'all on top of that and how it goes. I think I want to focus on herbs this year. No, it's not too late to begin anything. Just plant it. Now is the time. Spring is coming. You can definitely plant herbs. And I'll tell anybody, if you're just thinking about it or if you're new, start with herbs. They're so easy to grow, so forgiving. So that is less that you have to buy at the store. And you can use your herbs fresh. And then when you have an abundance, you can dry them as well. Um, yes, the snowman storm. Yeah, in Texas. I can definitely imagine. Yes. Yes, the store with the chicken. Yeah, and I do. I want chicken. I really, really, really want to do chickens, but my husband keeps reminding me of the snakes. We have snakes here in coastal Georgia, and if you go back through my Instagram feed last year, we had one. I wasn't sure if it was poisonous or not, but it was. That snake sent me in the house at least for 3 days. I think for like 2 or 3 days because it snapped at me. That's why. And normally I'm afraid of snakes, but if you are just doing your thing and going your way, I'm fine. But this one looked at me like, you need to leave right now. And he snapped at me. So that kind of scared me. So my husband is like, chickens bring snakes. I think he's trying to discourage me. But once I start showing him these grocery store receipts, he'll get on board just like he did with this garden. He thinks I don't know him, and he thinks I don't hear him talking to all his friends about what I'm starting in the garden, like and what we have. Okay, let me get back. Let me get back on track. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so all of you that are new, we're talking about the dirty dozen. Dirty dozen, which means the foods in the grocery store that has the most pesticides, and some of these pesticides have been banned in other countries. So next on the list, number 10, celery. Celery is another one, and I'm going to put a picture up probably this weekend of the celery that we are growing. Okay, so let me tell you about celery. Celery is like strawberry to me. I don't like celery to eat raw, but I like the flavor, and I use celery in my smoothies as well. So that is why I buy celery, and also I love it for dressing during Thanksgiving. And I like to add a little celery seed in my chicken salad. So, next, and I know a lot of y'all love this. I know a lot of y'all love this because I do, especially summertime. Tomatoes. Tomatoes is number 11 on the list. Yeah, snakes, I'm telling you, I don't do snakes. I can put up with the frogs. I can put up with a lot of things. Snakes, I just don't do. Trying celery again this year. Yes, 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 yes. Celery is on the list. We started celery from seed. We also had pink celery. And what I love about the celery, y'all, is the fact that you know, in the grocery store, they cut all the leaves off. But I love growing it in the garden because I add the whole celery stalk, leaves and all. Because celery leaves are good for you as well. I add it in the smoothie. I love celery that way. Now, if you, I also like to saute it sometimes, but it has to be in like really small pieces. But just, I know a lot of people can just like eat it raw. I can't. And I can't do that with strawberries either. But I love a strawberry shake. As long as it doesn't have those bits in there, those strawberry bits. Weird, I know. This is another thing that we enjoy. And y'all comment below if you enjoy this. And this was the scariest for me. Citrus. Citrus fruits is number 12 on the Dirty Dozen list. But here is the thing with citrus. They said even with the rinds being on, and you know how we peel them off, some of the chemicals on there that they use were not, like it didn't affect, even though you, like it still had an effect even if you peeled it. So that one right there was scary to me. And again, let me just explain to y'all, I'm not saying you have to grow all 12 in your garden. That's not what I'm saying, because depending on where you're at, everybody can't grow everything. But let's just start. Let's just pick 1 to 2 things and let's just start growing it. I wish I could grow citrus outside of my zone. We had last year, we had key limes, but this was like the first, like these were 1 to 2 year old plants. So we had we had key limes, we had 1 orange, okay y'all. We had 1 orange and I think 2 like mandarins, but it's a start. That's what I'm saying, it's a start. So that was a few less key limes. We actually had a few more key limes, but that was 1 mandarin and 1 orange that, you know, didn't have any chemicals on there. So that's what I'm saying, like everybody, we're all in different zones. We can't do it, we can't grow all of those 12s that's on the Dirty Dozen, but we can choose one. If you like strawberries, choose that. If you like peppers, sweet peppers, hot peppers, do a variety of that. You know, let's just start and just lessen. So what I'm just trying to say, another reason to start is because, you know, when we go in the store, we don't know. Now, what I'm going to talk about in a minute after I go through the comments and answer all the questions is things that we can do to kind of, you know, to kind of move forward and get by until we, you know, continue to grow. So really quick, because I saw some messages pop up on YouTube here. So a lot of people have commented, yes, they are seeing an increase in prices at the grocery store. See, I thought it was just me, and I would just look at the receipt, and even some of the things that I bought maybe a year ago. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's let the plane go by. Let's let the jets go by. So we're by a military base, so they do exercises at all times of night. So before I go into I want to bring up a good point that my eternity on Instagram just wrote. 1 green pepper plant. Now, y'all listen to this. 1 green pepper plant provided peppers for 3 households during this summer. Okay, so 1 pepper plant provided peppers for her. So that's what I'm talking. That is exactly what I'm saying. Just start small, just to lessen not only the carbon footprint, but you know what you're putting on it. So let me go back through. So a lot of y'all have been seeing an increase in the grocery prices. It's not just me, because I sit up here and I tell my husband, I'm like, look at my receipt. And some of the same things that I have bought last year, they are 25 to 50% more at the grocery store. So this is my first year planting trees. I just planted an apple tree. Yes, yes, yes. And waiting for 3 more fruit trees. And y'all saw how many types of fruit were on the Dirty Dozen list. Nectarines, apples, grapes, peaches, cherries, and pears. I don't know if I told y'all pears, but pears is on the list as well. So that's what I'm talking about. Just starting that process of just growing. That is exactly what we want to do. I don't have room. I'm just reading through the comments because we're going to go through the clean 15, and then I'm also going to tell you some things that you can do to kind of lessen the effect. I don't have room for trees right now, but I can grow some of them for sure. Yes, yes, you can. Do you do what you can? Exactly. Growing with Donnie. Let me just tell y'all, this is what I always tell people. Just do the best you can, okay? Do what you can with what you have. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I could invite all of y'all, I want a market garden so bad, just so I can feed the community, invite people, and just say, get you a bag and fill it up. That is my top priority, and I'm going to make it happen because I want people to have access to good quality, organic, reasonably priced food. That's what we want, that has not over 10 to 15 pesticides on there. I am at a point now where if it's just, I'll pull it before I put pesticides on there. And that's just how it is for me right now. I don't Okay, so zone A, Meyer lemon will go in a pot. Yeah, because you can grow citrus in zone 6A, but you'll have to pull it in. I think one of my key lime plants did die because we got just a little bit colder weather than we normally have. But one of them is coming back out, and I see blooms on like my orange. I want to say one of that is a lemon tree. I'm not sure, but we are going to amp up our citrus as well. So okay, so we talked about the dirty dozen, dirty dozen, and the pesticides, and how some of the pesticides are not banned in other countries. So let's talk about things that we can do. I just want you to pick one or two and just grow it. But if you can't, they say, wash the fruit or the vegetables real good when you get home. Try your best. Try your best to buy organic. That's another way. And then try to eat local or eat fresh. Or if like a farmer's market where you're at, or, live in a place where you have access to farms or CSA, you could do things like that to just kind of, lessen things. But I think the main thing is let's just pick one or two things and just commit to growing it this year. I love farmers market. We all know the times that we're living in, but a CSA is also a option. That's a good option that we can have. Just make sure you talk to the farm or the farmers or whoever is over the CSA and ask them how they grow their food. I'm real big on that, and I do try to get organic produce at the store, but that's why I want a market garden, because y'all know how these prices are. We just talked about it. Like, y'all just put in the comments how much that the prices have went up, at least 25% at the grocery store. And so sometimes I don't buy organic all the time. I'm just going to be on, like, I will if I can, but sometimes I don't. So, you know, let's talk about the clean 15, because like I told my email list, if you guys are not on the email list, make sure you get on my email list. Click on the link in the bio in my Instagram land, and then on YouTube I will make sure I leave that link once it's rendering. So make sure you get on the email list as well, because we talked about the clean 15. Like I told my email list, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer today. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just want us to just kind of think about this, think about what's being put on our food, and let's just make an effort. Let's just try to make an effort to grow one to two things. Or if you want to grow all 12 and you can do it, do it. Because I would, but I can't. I can't grow apples until I find a variety that's good for this area. But if you know a few local people who are willing, you should team up, pool your money. Yes, yes. And I'll just tell you all right now, and my husband knows this. Um, we're looking for land to have a market garden on. We're looking for land. We're not quite sure where we want to have this land at, because I don't know if we want to be, it's just so many different places that, states that we have considered. We have considered. So we have to just come together and just figure out okay, what would be the best, for the family. Our family, we still want to be able to visit them as well. So we don't want to be like too far from family. But that's something that we are looking into, and we are going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen. It may take a while, but you're right. Like a lot of people, especially in the Savannah area, before all of this happened, they would have a seed swap. They would have a lot of different things going on with the gardening community. I was going to the coastal Georgia botanical gardens. Like they had all type of good things and all type of good swaps. Not a lot of people in my neighborhood garden. I know it's two, and me and that person, like we always talk from time to time, and their daughter comes and look at what we're growing back here. But we don't have a lot of people in our neighborhood. But we just want people to grow, and it doesn't matter if it's a container, raised bed, patio. Let's just make an effort to go ahead and just start something. So we're not Debbie Downer here. We're going to talk about the Clean 15. Now, remember what I said about the Clean 15. The Clean 15, I interpret it as, when I read it, they're just not using as many chemicals. I think they may have found like two different pesticides, but we'll just say it's not completely organic. So number one was avocados, in which I love. Avocado toast is very good if you all have not tried it. So avocados was on the list. Corn, pineapples, onions, papayas, sweet peas, eggplant, asparagus, broccoli, cabbage, kiwi, cauliflower, mushrooms, honeydew melon, and cantaloupe. So those are the list on our Clean 15. So, we can kind of cheer up about some things, and just know that not as many pesticides are being used. Cantaloupe is actually something that I am going to grow. I only grew it maybe like twice, since we've been here in the area that we're in now in coastal Georgia, but I do have some cantaloupe seeds that I want to try. Cantaloupe is one of those ones where I just have to have a taste for it, I just have to, just kind of have a taste for it. I used to eat it for breakfast, like if I had a taste for it, but we are going to grow that again. So I'm going to go through the questions. For all of you who are just joining us, I'm going to make sure on my YouTube, all my YouTube friends, I'm going to put the links that we discuss in the description. And for my Instagram land, you all can click on the bio. Click on my bio for the free ebook, for the seeds, and then also to get on our email list as well. And then text Let's Grow to 474747 if you want to be notified when we have specials, when we go live, just things that we put out to our email list as well. I'm very bad about email. I'm very embarrassed to tell you how many unread emails I have right now in my email box. And so I don't read emails all the time, but I always pretty much have my phone with me. So me personally, I prefer text over email, because I'm going to try to clean out some this weekend as well as do my taxes, okay? We'll see how that goes. How do you feel about, I'm telling you, Instagram with these messages, it just like flashes up and flashes down. How do you feel about growing perennial spinaches? Never heard of it, but I will definitely look into it. I would love to grow a perennial spinach. I've heard about the perennial, I think it was the perennial collard green tree, I think, that I've read somewhere about that, or it may be in the perennial kale. But yes, I'm all for perennials. I love perennials. I love that's less I have to, less I have to buy. But that is also a good choice. So if you all have any questions, make sure I'm checking on both Instagram and YouTube that I didn't miss anybody's questions. Just make sure you type them now. So pasta la pizza, I will definitely look into that. Very high yield. See, that's what we want. So it's a perennial spinach. Yes. I heard of Malabar spinach as well. Now I have heard of that. So I need to look in that, because spinach was number two on the list for being in the Dirty Dozen. So I definitely want to look into spinach. And we grew spinach, um, and we harvested it all, and it was really good, and it was really tender. So I'm going to try. Spinach and radish is one of those ones around this time of the year, like you're kind of taking your chances. Like I just looked at my radish over here and I'm like, okay, go ahead and pull it before it gets too tough. And how does it get inside? Like it gets coarse and tough. Let me pull one for y'all. This was a new one that I tried this year. They were purple radish. So okay, I've been saying I was gonna pull it, but I just thought it was so cute. So these are purple radish. I don't know the variety, y'all, but I wanted to like pickle some radish there. So radish and spinach, like they like a little bit cooler, just a little bit cooler weather. But see, like now it's in the 60s. Next week it's going to get in in the 80s. So that's why I say for us, radish and spinach, like if I do one more round of spinach, maybe not. If I do one more round of radish, maybe not. But I'm gonna pull these. I just thought that this purple was so pretty. I wonder, can y'all see that? If you could see it. But you see how I say about reducing the carbon footprint? Like just like that, I walked over and I can go in here and I can slice this up. I can slice it up and I can just put it on top of a salad. If you all have not watched our latest YouTube video on soil blocking, so we soil blocked about over a hundred lettuce soil blocks that we're going to use our Dollar Tree pots. We're going to line them up and put them in there. And so hopefully we'll have salad, because salad is something really easy, really fast to grow. You can, most varieties, you can start harvesting them from like the baby stage and just have like baby greens and just do it that way. And that's another way. That's why I say just start with something that you and your family likes. So pick something you and your family likes and say, you know what, this is what I'm going to grow this year, this is what I'm going to document about, this is what I'm going to journal. Because let me warn y'all, you're probably going to get the gardening bug if you don't already have it, because once you see how it grows and you taste it and you see the difference, you are going to want to continue to expand. If I could take this whole, you know how they say grow food, not lawns, if I could take this whole backyard right here, right now, and just put some tarp on there and kill this grass and plant just nothing but fruits, vegetables, herbs, I would do it. But I told y'all now, I got to, like, I can't spring stuff on my husband like that. He doesn't take it too good like that. You got to do things in steps with him. You got to, with our expanded garden last year, I'm thinking about taking this space. He's all for it, but he gets on to me because he tells me that I do too much. I do too much, but it's okay. It's okay. Yes. Yes. And that's one thing that I put, I don't know what I talked about today. Composting grass is so good. So I tell people, as long as you're not putting chemicals and things on your grass like that, like the different pesticides and weed killers, compost that grass, and that puts nutrients back in the soil as well. Yes, it does. And that's what we do. Um, what is a good way to really clean store-bought fruit? I just I just wash mine like really, really good. So the question was, what is a good way to clean like the store-bought produce that, is part of the dirty dozen, or may not even be part of the dirty dozen? Like, what's a good way? I just come in and I wash it real good. I do see in the produce that they have started putting like a produce wash. If you guys have used it, comment below. I personally have not used it. A lot of people say that they'll put a little bit of vinegar in the water and clean things that way. I just try to wash it off really, really good. But see, like this right here, I'll go in and I'll wash the leaves again. And that's, if you're growing radish, don't throw these leaves away. Don't you throw them away. You can either put them in your smoothie, you can put them in your salad. If you don't want them, compost them. They can go in the compost pile. If you compost them, don't throw them away. Like, we save everything around here. We do. Okay, I just started hardening off my radishes, broccoli, spinach. Oh my God, Yankee sister, you have some amazing things growing. She is growing radishes, broccoli, spinach. Um, Come on, spinach, cabbage, carrots, collards, and kale. That's a great garden. The most common pesticides are water soluble. So salt water and vinegar are all pretty effective. Washing thoroughly is most important. Thank you, Pasta La Pizza. So on Instagram, let me read to you the comment that we got because a lot of people want to know, okay, I'm not growing those things and I'm still going to buy them at the produce, which I do as well. So what are some ways that you can really, really make sure that they're good and clean? So the most common pesticides are water soluble. So water, salt water, and vinegar. You can use vinegar. They're all pretty effective in trying to clean and get the residue off. So, do we have any more questions? Thank you all so much for joining me today. For all of you that come to Virginia, my sister lives in Virginia, so I just might be there. She stays in Williamsburg, so I just might. I just may come. So, I thank you all for joining us today. If you if you're just joining us, so what we're going to do, because we want to try to accommodate as many people as we can, because a lot of people said that they like just the live experience. So Mondays we're going to be going live at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then on Fridays, since we have the daylight savings times, it stays light longer. We're going to go live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you all have any type of questions that you want us to talk about, make sure that you let me know. A lot of times I just read different things, read different topics, and I just say that is what's going to be our topic, for the Monday or Friday. And today it was the Dirty Dozen that came up on my phone, and I just wanted to talk about it, and I just wanted to encourage you all to just pick one, maybe two things, and just grow it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. You can DM me, Anna at southernentertaining.com. So if you have any questions, because let me tell you something about the garden community. This is a great place. It's a great community to be in. Not only have I learned so much from so many of you, like I seriously feel like gardeners are some of the nicest people on the earth, because all we want to do is share and share with others. So you all can reach out with me. I may be on tomorrow. I'm not sure. I know Mondays and Fridays I have said these are the times. I may be on tomorrow. I have a lot of leaves that I need to rake. And thank you all who've responded to me, because I asked a lot of people to recommend like a leaf mulcher, because this straw that has to go. I see more grass popping up and I'm just getting tired. It's like an extra task that I have to do. So after that's over, I'm leaving the straw alone. And so I want to thank each and every one of you who reached out to me and gave me a suggestion for the leaf mulcher, because I'm just going to use leaves, dried leaves as my mulch. That's what we're going to start doing. I also have a lot of things that I got to get planted. A lot. We've hardened off all of our tomatoes, all of our bell peppers. I just got to get them in the ground. I really and seriously do. So, a busy weekend, hopefully a productive weekend. So, I may just pop in tomorrow. Again, if you're not on our text list, text Let's Grow to 474747. So, if I do pop on, normally I give you like a 15-30 minute window and say, hey, we're going live on IG and YouTube. So, YouTube land, thank you all for joining me. I will make sure I put those links in the description that we talked about. And then on my Instagram, the links are in my bio. And again, give me about till tomorrow evening for the butterfly pea flowers, because that was our most requested seed. I'll make sure I might pop on just to show you the germination rate. Really pleased with it. Really pleased with the germination. We grow the butterfly peas. Us personally, we grow it for teas. A lot of people grow them because they're beautiful and they're vining, and once they get started, they don't stop until frost. So I hope you all have a good weekend, and we will definitely talk soon. Y'all be safe and enjoy your weekend. Bye, y'all.